Hello everyone. Today once again we shall be discussing about the basics of electrical and electronics engineering. This is an atom, and inside of this atom there is a part that is called nucleus, and inside of this nucleus there are few protons and few neutrons. These are few electrons revolving around this nucleus. How many electrons are revolving in K path? How many electrons are revolving in L, in M? We can decide the number of electrons by this simple formula 2n square, where n equals to 1, 2, 3, etc. For K it is 1, for L it is 2, for M it is 3, etc. Now we will replace this n by 1 and we get the value 2. That means 2 electrons are revolving in K cell. In case of L it is 8, in case of M it is 18, in case of N it is 32, etc. So is it true that in one path 32 numbers of electrons are revolving? In case of M, 18 numbers of electrons are revolving in one path? To understand this issue, we have broken down each cell into few subcells. This is L. In case of L, we have 2 subcells. In case of M, we have 3 subcells. In case of N, we have 4 subcells. So the first one is S, second one is P, third one is D, and fourth one is F. As K has only one subcell, that means the two numbers of electrons will be revolving in the same path. In case of P, 6 numbers of electrons will be revolving in P path. In case of D, 10. In case of F, 14 numbers of electrons will be revolving in F path. We have taken an example for M. Here we have 18 numbers of electrons. So in S, 2, in P, 6, and in D, 10 numbers of electrons will be revolving around the nucleus. So we can see the distance from this nucleus is increasing as we are moving towards the M or N cell, and we have considered there is only one electron in this D subcell, and we can see the distance from nucleus to D subcell of N cell is too much higher rather than the P or D subcell of this M. It is also higher rather than this S or P subcell of L cell. So the attraction force from this nucleus to this electron will be lesser than the electrons are available in these subcells. If this loosely bonded electron gets sufficient energy from the surrounding medium, then it will leave this atom, that means the parent atom. It will leave the parent atom and it will be called a free electron. So thus we will get so many free electrons in a copper wire. This is a closer view of this copper wire, and we have taken an imaginary plane over here. We can see from this imaginary plane so many numbers of electrons are moving towards the left hand side and so many numbers of electrons are moving towards the right hand side, and the numbers of electrons are moving towards the left hand side is exactly equals to the numbers of electrons are moving towards the right hand side. While considering while this copper wire is not connected with any kind of source. If we have no source connected with this copper wire, then the potential of any point will be 0. Here we have measured the potential of this point, this plane, and we have seen the potential is 0. Now we have connected a voltage source with this copper wire. Okay. Now the electrons will be moving from this terminal towards the positive terminal of the voltage source. So the electrons are moving in this path. According to our convention, the current flows through this way, that means the opposite direction of the electron flow. This is the closer view of this part. This is the negative terminal of the battery, and this is the copper wire. This is the first atom connected with this negative terminal, and this is the second atom connected with this first atom. So this negative terminal of the battery will forward an electron to the first atom. Then the number of electron is increased in this atom, and now the numbers of electron is 30 in this atom. For being neutralized, this atom will forward this extra electron to the next atom. Thus the electron flows through this path in this way. For understanding, we have taken only one atom connected with this negative terminal, but in practical cases we have so many numbers of atoms will be connected with this negative terminal. So the electrons will be forwarded from this negative terminal to these atoms, and the electrons will be moving from this negative terminal to this positive terminal in a huge rate. Let us consider this is a pipe through which water flows. This is the A terminal and this is the B terminal. Now in this case this is open. There is no such pump is connected with this pipe. That means this seems like this copper wire. There is no voltage source is connected with this copper wire, and for this pipe no pump is connected with this pipe. Now we have connected a pump, but the B terminal is closed. It is not connected with this pump. So it is open circuited. No water flows through this path because it is open circuited. If we connect this B terminal with this pump, then water will flow through this path. This is water. That means the pump is analogous to the voltage, the water is analogous to the current, and this pipe is analogous to this copper wire.